What does it do, YouTube? We are back with a very special live edition of the Unforgiven 2003 pay-per-view uh, review. Now, Frank and we did a video on this a couple of days ago. Unfortunately, me being the dum-dum that I am, I removed the video by mistake. So Frank and I were here today. If we go see Frank in a few moments, we're going to be doing this video live because if you're doing it live, you can't screw it up, right? So before we begin, as we're waiting for Frank to join us, if you're new to this YouTube channel, do us a favor, hit that subscribe button. See that red subscribe button? If it's red, do me a favor. Make sure that button is no longer red. Make that button gray and make sure it says subscribe. And also, while you're down there, hit the notification bell right next to it so you get notified when we upload new content. We upload new content weekly, almost daily, practically. I want to thank everybody here for 200 views on my Joey Janela video. Really appreciate that, guys. That's awesome. Like I said, I am the king of the podcast, Simulmania. We're waiting for my good friend Frank here. Frank should be with us any second. But while we're waiting for Frank, let me turn off my TV. Let me get my hey, it's Franklin stuff going. Oh, my food is right here, as a matter of fact. Crack. I got food coming, ladies and gentlemen. So let's see. We're getting started. We're getting the stream started. There it is. Okay. So we're good on that. While I go get my food, why don't you people enjoy a nice Clip Monstar song? Let's see, what would be a good clip song? Thanks, Mama.
Come on, Jackie. Let's go. Come on. Come on. Come. Get down. Come on.
I'm trying to find a good Clip Monstar song here to start off. This is Let It Go. So here you go.
We don't fall, we don't.
And we are back, ladies and gentlemen. And look who's joining us. We got my co-host, finally, Frank. Welcome.
Welcome. What's up?
What's up?
I did not hear that video, by the way.
It was Clip Monstar. I'll put it.
I know what it was, but I'm just like, it's not gonna work.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. For some reason, we always have trouble putting songs in like that at the beginning.
That's all they gave? Oh, wait. 2 medium fries must be on Mom. Okay. They must be out of large or something. All right, folks. Lunchtime here at my house. Hey, special shout out to McDonald's, baby.
Oh, lit.
Yes, sir. So, like I told the people here already, Frank, you missed the introduction, but like I told everybody here, we're here today to discuss Unforgiven 2003.
As we already did. No more taped videos. We're doing it live from now on. No more taped.
That's kind of also what I mentioned earlier was we did do a video on this subject, but and I thought I uploaded the right video. Frank told me today it wasn't the right video. It was a different video. So we're doing it live.
It will forever be lost media because we don't even have the video anymore either.
I don't even think I have. Hang on, let me see if I can even find it. Yeah,
it's too late now. We're already recording.
Yeah, I know it's too late, Frank, but it's never too late to say goodbye. Actually, yes, it is. But I'm very upset that happened. That really frustrates me. But nonetheless, Frank's here and I'm here, and we're gonna stop getting distracted by everything around us.
Hey, shout out to everybody who watched the Joey Janela clip. That clip is
gave him a shout out already on that.
Yes. Hey, yeah. Well, okay. Well, see, you never got 200 views on a video until I showed up. You see that?
It's because of you, Frank.
Yeah. All you needed was me, and then all of a sudden the views are piling in, man. But now we're gonna keep doing that. We're gonna keep doing clips. That's how I figured out that the Unforgiven original review that has now lost media, was mistake. It was a mistake upload because I went to start editing clips on that. So since it wasn't uploaded, I edited clips on our latest episode, Summerslam. So if you check the channel right now, there's 3 clips from that episode if you want to check them out. I mean, if you've already seen the episode, why would you check the clips? But you're welcome to check them if you want.
Well, yeah. I think the clips are really fun too.
Yeah. I mean, look at every.
People want to listen to podcasts for certain things. They don't want to listen to the whole thing for one certain subject, right? When I listen to him, I don't want to listen to him rant and rave about politics and those crackpot Republicans and those crackpot Christian fucks and all that. I don't want to hear all that. I want to listen for your Raw reviews, your AEW reviews, your reviews. So I don't need all that extra bullshit. I don't need to hear about those snakes in your yard and yeah. But anyway, before we begin this episode, this coming Friday, Frank and I are going to be discussing a rather emotional show. And it is the Smackdown, the very first Smackdown, the very first public assembly of its size since the tragedy of September 11th. We're talking about Smackdown post 9/11. We're going to talk all about that.
That is also the first time that Smackdown ever aired live on Thursday. Smackdown was always taped on Tuesday. And of course, 9/11 happened on Tuesday. They were stuck in Houston in the airport, so they couldn't get to do the show that night. And I'm sure even if they weren't stuck in the airport, I'm sure they wouldn't have done the show that night.
Podcast about this?
What?
Have you ever listened to Bruce Pritchard's podcast about this 9/11 show?
Oh man, I'm not sure if I have. I know I did watch the network special on the show.
There was so Bruce Pritchard did a whole episode on this, and a lot of the episode was also about his wife because his wife had cancer at the time, so they were.
Yes, I think I did hear that podcast. I think I did.
The thing was, wrestlers arrived at the arena on that Tuesday on 9/11. They arrived at the arena ready to perform, and apparently they told the management up there, "Hey, it's It's not happening.
Right. Not happening.
Well,
Yeah.
We'll tell the people, we'll tell the wrestlers and stuff. We'll tell the wrestlers and all them as they're coming in because they didn't know. Wrestlers didn't know, right? Because they're driving in their cars, they're listening to music, they're listening to podcasts, they're listening to whatever. They didn't know about it. So
Podcast not in 2001.
no,
Not in 2001. There were no podcasts, no one.
well,
So they were just listening to music. But
they were talking about whatever. They didn't necessarily.
I'm sure they knew by then. I mean, you could turn on a news radio station and hear about what was going on.
Well, I guess.
Yeah. I want to say this too. In 2 weeks, so the episode after the 9/11 SmackDown, we're gonna go over the 5th anniversary episode of SmackDown, due to the fact that it's sort of in the news with Rene Dupree. Paul London was on Rene Dupree's podcast a while back, and he mentioned, Paul London mentioned when Booker T broke his nose, and that was that show.
With it, so of course we're going to watch that.
Yeah, we're going to go over that since it's topical right now. Topical, I should say.
We're here right now. Let's discuss Unforgiven 2003. Shout out to McDonald's. They got the best French fries. This place took place at the Giant Arena in Hershey, Pennsylvania.
What a name.
Right?
What a name for a stadium. Yeah. Arena, I should say.
Absolutely.
And this cover scared the shit out of 11-year-old me because at the time I was scared of Kane for a short time in 2003. After he set JR on fire, scared the shit out of me. But of course, as I said before, nowadays I look back on that Kane, man, what a heel, what a monster he was back then, man. Tremendous.
We'll get there in a minute, but let's talk about these shows. Let's talk about this show match by match. And by the way, towards the end of the show, you're gonna notice, especially with the last 2 or 3 matches, you're gonna hear me throw it a lot to Frank. We watched this show really early in the morning on Thursday, and
Thursday.
And I was still kind of drowsy, and there was a moment where I actually kind of fell asleep. And Frank had to be rude and wake me up. So,
well, it's funny when putting together the clips for the SummerSlam episode, you actually fell asleep when we were watching that show too. You said when RVD versus King began, you started to fall asleep. So this dude can't stay up for a 2-hour 45-minute pay-per-view.
Unless we're doing it live, folks. We should do a watch along, Frank. We should do a watch along.
Man, I don't know about doing 3 hours, man. That's the only thing. That's what I don't like to do 3-hour podcast. I don't even like listening to 3-hour podcasts.
Whoa! I must have missed the part where I asked you what you like to do.
If you want to do watch alongs by yourself, you could. If you don't,
hold up, folks. We're doing this early, huh? We're doing this early, huh? Hold up, folks.
Hey, it's Franklin coming over to play.
If Franklin ever comes over to your house to play, do yourself a favor. Don't let him in. Matter of fact, just call the cops. Dude doesn't play fair. Anyway, first match of the night, it was the Dudley Boys defeating La Resistance in a 3-on-2 handicap tables match. And as I mentioned on the podcast, that we did, that's forever lost in the annals of time. It made no sense that they did tags, but it was a good tables match. Go ahead.
That spot that Spike Dudley took a couple weeks earlier.
That looked cool. That did not look good at all.
This was originally supposed to be a 6-man table match, as it says on the back of the DVD. I thought Spike wasn't in it because of the bump, but literally the very next week, he's in a neck brace and they put him through a table. So I don't know why he wasn't in this match. Maybe he was injured after taking that bump. Maybe just didn't realize it, and that's why he came back.
Storyline to keep him out. Maybe it was just a storyline bump or like a storyline injury.
Doesn't seem like it. I don't know. But yeah, as I've said plenty, whenever we talk about him, I'm a big fan of La Resistance. Great heels, great heel tag team. I feel like Rene Dupree could have been a star in WWE, which is why I'm very happy he's doing his thing in Japan. Even though I'm not watching, I don't watch Japan that much, but I am.
One thing you're not going to get from us is a lot of Japanese wrestling reviews. We don't follow Japanese wrestling. We don't follow. We don't even follow Mexican wrestling. We follow a lot of. For me, I'll tell you what I follow real quick. I follow WWE. I follow AEW somewhat. I follow a lot of independent women's wrestling, and I watch it from like all over the world except for Japan and Mexico. But I'll watch it from like Canada. I'll watch it from England, from Germany, from Russia, from Europe rather. I'll just say from Europe because that covers a lot of ground over there. But as far as Japanese and Mexican wrestling, that's not our forte. To me, is what Rey Mysterio does.
Like I said on Dupree, I felt like he could have been a great heel, one of the better heels in the early 2000s. I feel that way about both him and Nowinski, Christopher Nowinski. The other two, Sylvain Grenier and Rob Conway, after they left La Resistance, they didn't really do anything for me. I know Sylvain Grenier had that fashion gimmick in like 05. I wasn't really crazy about it. It was okay. But Dupree seems like the guy who, that was a lost opportunity from WWE there. But all three of them together, they were great with the La Resistance gimmick. This was a solid match. Two great tag teams, Dudley Boys and the La Resistance. And the Dudley Boys, I believe, won their 18th tag team titles on this show. I believe that's what it was, their 18th tag title victory, as JR said as soon as the match ended.
Just to add on to that Sylvain Grenier comment, he did have one match on SmackDown that I liked in 2005.
Which one, Grenier?
Yeah, it was him and Hardcore Holly in a hardcore match.
I just watched that like a week ago.
Really good. They fought through the elevators, and I did like that. That was kind of cool. The ketchup and the mustard getting tossed all over each other. Yeah.
It's so crazy you mentioned it because I just watched that whole episode a few days ago. Yeah, that was fun.
Yeah.
They stopped doing hardcore matches around that time, so it was nice to see them actually do one there.
Right. And it wasn't that stupid hardcore stuff with the barbed wire and the thumbtacks and the flame and all that stuff.
Sylvain Grenier did not light his foot on fire and super kick hardcore.
Yeah. By the way, try explaining that whole scenario to a non-wrestling fan, Frank. Just imagine that for a second. Like, yeah.
So there's this thing called a pop. That's what they call a reaction.
Yeah.
And that's literally the only reason they did it is to get a loud reaction. That's how you explain that to a non-wrestling fan.
Yeah, but then you have to explain what they did because next time I see my brother-in-law, I'm gonna have to talk to him about this because I'm gonna have to explain it just like this. Oh yeah, well, one guy decided that he was going to set his foot on fire, kick another guy in the face, and
nearly setting the whole building on fire.
Facts.
Yeah.
Let's just move on. My 5-year-old nephew, my fucking 2-year-old nephew, they would be like, "That's stupid. You don't set yourself on fire." But to quote Tom McDonald, common sense ain't that common. Next match, folks. Test beat Scott Steiner to win Stacy Keebler's services. This match was
Yeah.
a good big man versus big man match. Lots of power moves. And Tess was just dastardly heel here. He was just a dastardly heel here. And at one point, Stacy gets bumped off of the ring apron. Frank, take it away.
Yeah, so not only great big man match, but I love the angle. I stand behind that. As I said on the Lost Media edition of this episode, this podcast, I think they went a little too far afterwards when they had Steiner like turn, and now it's just Test and Stacy bullying Scott. But
Hold up, hold up, hold up, folks. Hold up, folks.
Hey, it's Franklin coming over to play.
Sorry, Frank.
I just got an image in my head of Stacy Keebler just bullying Scott Steiner.
Hey, it's Frank coming over. Hey, it's
Did
Frank.
you just sing along?
No.
I thought
Um,
singing
but
along. I'm like, oh shit, he's starting to like it.
as I was trying to say before I was rudely interrupted,
You were not
um,
really interrupted.
yes,
That
I was. Yes, I would. Just because I made a mistake doesn't mean you can chime in.
it absolutely means I can chime in. What you mean, fam?
As I was trying to say, I think they went a little too far at the end there, having Scott Steiner join up with Tess, and Steiner and Tess bully Stacy Keebler. But to me, okay, so Tess wins. He gets the heel heat here. To me, like maybe like a few weeks later, you have a rematch, and Steiner wins, and there's the blow off. Steiner wins Stacy back. Stacy can't be bullied by Tess anymore. Yeah, I don't agree with that part where Steiner joins Tess, but at least we had one great moment to kill that off. After that happened, Mick Foley comes out and says there'll be no more of that, stuff like that. But otherwise than that, that was a great angle. I love storylines like that, and that's what's missing.
Stacy was, I think, the perfect girl to go with all that.
Of course, who wouldn't want to get with Stacey? Come on now. She's still as cute as hell today.
Facts, man. Facts.
But yeah, that's the type of storyline to me that's missing with pro wrestling today, not just WWE.
We're going to talk about current stuff after this show, but go ahead.
Yeah, yeah, the drama angles like that. That's what I miss. But yeah, other than that, good match and great angle. Oh, and the video package. I guess the song's called Suffocate. Shout out to WWE. WWE always did great video packages. Yeah. I'm sure they still do today, but yeah, the video package they played right before this.
Flush it out. You flush it out.
No, that's SummerSlam.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Well, you see what I'm talking about, so that's cool.
No, I'm talking about the video package for this match. They had a song called Suffocate, and they put together a whole package of the feud.
Okay.
Yes. Okay. I think that was by Cold. Oh my gosh, it was the band. See, I'm not a rock fan. I'm a rap fan, but band that did the Backlash 03, the album was called Year of the Spider. I have no idea what the name of the band is, but that's the band that did that song. But also, there's something I want to mention too. I remember the fan with the sign that said click here for the DVD Easter eggs. This was at a point, for some reason, during the summer of 2003, WWE said, you know what, we're doing away with extras. So like Vengeance, SummerSlam, and I know this isn't the summertime Unforgiven, but yeah, all three of those shows did not have any extras.
It counts as the end of summer.
Yeah, I guess. So SummerSlam and Unforgiven both had music videos of the pay-per-view themes on it at the very end of the show, but that's it. And so there were no DVD Easter eggs either. So this dude picked the wrong show to bring that But I don't understand. We were robbed of 3 DVDs worth of DVD extras, man. And this was back when Sunday Night Heat, Confidential, they could have packaged a lot of extras on all 3 of those shows, man.
Next match saw Randy Orton defeating Shawn Michaels.
To me, go ahead.
Go ahead. Let you start.
To me, this is the match of the night. 03 Randy Orton was a phenomenal heel. I'm a fan of the young, cocky heels.
He's
Orton,
a fan. No.
Stop it. That's, you know what I meant. The young, arrogant heels. And yeah, Randy Orton is probably the best at that. Back in 03, 04.
He's a fan of the young.
No. You know what I meant. You know what I mean.
I do know what you're a fan of the young. No. Let me stop.
This dude's a little too immature. I need to get a more mature podcast host. So put your applications in the comment section.
Tonight.
Yeah. As I said on the Lost Media episode of this podcast, now I'm not a huge Adam Cole fan anymore. That's mostly because I don't watch anymore. So that's no disrespect to Adam Cole, but when he was in Ring of Honor and he was the world champion, he was that young, arrogant heel. Gotta say arrogant because my my podcast host here is a little too immature. When Adam Cole was that young, arrogant heel, that reminded me of Randy Orton in 03, 04. Not a comparison. Adam Cole's not on Randy Orton's level.
Ever.
I'm not trying to say that. I'm just saying it reminded me of him. And yeah, that was great, man. This match, I love the ending where Ric Flair handed Randy Orton brass knuckles. Shawn Michaels tried to backdrop Orton. Orton bang, 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 bang with the brass knucks. And then that's how he got the pinfall victory. Yeah, like I said, this was the match of the night in my opinion.
Yeah. I'm gonna say this. 03 Orton is goated.
No doubt.
Definitely.
No doubt.
He's goated.
Evolution is
This,
goated.
folks, I am that guy, by the way, that says that Frank is a fan of that young cock. It's a joke. It's a joke. He said it the other day. We laughed about it. It's all good.
I did not say that. You said.
But you can't. Okay. Anyway.
Again, put your applications for podcast hosts in the next week. You could be my podcast co-host because he's going to be gone. Yeah, we need a more mature host.
Applications in the comments down below. Guarantee you won't hear from him until 2 weeks. Anyway. No, it's all jokes, Frank. You know I love you.
Yeah. And again, oh my gosh. Remember how when we shot the non-live episode that will never be seen, I mentioned we gotta be better with segments when we do pay-per-views. It's like it's a one segment that is very important to the latter part of this show that takes place like after the third match, and I forgot about it again, but I'm bringing it up now because I think the next is the IC title triple threat, right?
No, next is the
Okay, I'm still going to mention it since it already happened at the point where we are on the show, and I should have mentioned it earlier. But so La Resistance, all 3 of them are in the training room because all 3 of them just got put through tables. So they're all iced up, and Chris Jericho comes in, you guys all right? Blah, blah, blah. And he's like, this is all because of Austin. And I'm tired of Austin's shit, and I'm going to do something about it tonight. So that's foreshadowing what is going to happen later in this show.
Right. Next match was Trish Stratus and Leda defeating Molly Holly and Gail Kim. 4 great women's wrestlers in the same ring at the same time. It was great. I love this tag.
Remember what you discussed about Gail Kim on the show that will never be seen.
We have to run to IKEA.
Bye.
Did you hear me?
Yeah, going to IKEA.
We'll see you in a few.
Okay.
Love you. See you.
Well, folks, you're going to get to see my dog most likely here. Yep, right here. This is
Shout out IKEA.
shout out to Jax. Say hi, Jax. Yeah.
Jackson Riker. What's up, Jackson?
Hey, knock it off. His name Jackson, right? You easy boy. Sorry, folks. A little bit of an intermission here. My dog could smell. Oh, he could smell this. What is it, boy? What is it? Do you want it? Okay, what do we do? What do you do? Sit. Sit. Atta boy. He was a good boy. So, Jack, lay down, bud. Here, I'm gonna teach you. Good boy. Who's a good boy? Sorry, folks. A little bit of puppy dog time. Frank.
Jackson is over on this podcast, man.
What?
Jackson is over on the podcast.
It's Jax. It's not Jackson.
I'm Jax. No,
You-
yeah, you call him Jax for Jackson Riker.
We call my dog Jackson Riker one more time. See what happens. Honestly. Is your name Jackson? Are you Jackson Riker? Huh? You Jackson Riker, buddy?
Yes.
You Jackson?
Yes.
Did you see him? What? Hey, Jackson. Are you Jackson Riker? Huh? Are you Jackson Riker?
He said yes.
Huh? He says no. I'm not Jackson Riker. Frank, give me your thoughts on this match. Stop calling my dog Jackson Riker because he's a
So in the Lost Media episode of this podcast, you said that oh gosh, I don't even know, what did you say about Gail Kim again? That's one.
she's one of the best women's wrestlers of all time.
Right. Okay. And you said she didn't that she wasn't treated fairly in WWE and shit like that.
Right. She wasn't.
Oh, and also you said Trish and Leda about their feud.
Yeah, they that feud to me is overrated. Trish had much better feuds with Victoria and Jazz and Molly than Leda. They didn't have many matches together. They didn't have that main event match, and they had one in Unforgiven. Those were the most memorable matches to me. That's just a feud that's overrated in my opinion.
Okay. So
Lay down.
just to remind you, because when we shot the episode that will never air, you did try to jump next match on me after I did all my discussion to reply to everything that you said without even saying anything about the match. So after I say everything in response to what you just said, don't jump to the next match because I still have to talk about the match itself. Remember. So.
Whoa, wait, hang on a second. Who the fuck you think you're talking to like that?
I'm talking to you, Mr. Let's jump to the next match. Before I can
next match. Go ahead.
So yeah, first off about Leda and Trish, you did say something about they didn't have that many one-on-one matches, but even with that, Leda and Trish were the two most popular women's wrestlers during this time period, and I think they had a few fair share of singles matches in their time. They had the Raw main event in December of 2004, which was of course the first time that the women ever main evented. So that will get talked about a lot. But also they had some great feuds. 2000 when they were both breaking in, and it was TNA versus the Hardys and Leda. In 2004, after Trish turned heel, I'm absolutely huge fan of 2004 Trish. I thought she was a phenomenal heel.
I prefer Trish as a baby face. So let's get into the next match here.
Hey! I think you can go either way with Trish. She's a great babyface. She was a popular babyface. She was a great heel. There was the segment where Leda interfered in Trish's wedding and all that. And the weeks leading up to that, did I say? No. Trish was in. No, Leda was in. Yeah, Trish was in Leda's wedding. I'll get it right at some point.
Hold up.
And the weeks leading up to it, Yeah, so in the weeks leading up to that wedding, Leda would get all the whole women's locker room, at least the heels of the women's locker room, to bring Trish, like, Trish
Come
would
on,
get
Frank.
the whole women's locker room to get stupid gifts for Leda that she had no need for. That was an entertaining segment. Yeah, their feud, they were both popular, and that's the thing. That's why everybody will always talk about them. That's why they have that DVD release, Leda Trish, that they did a couple years ago that I have. But yeah, it's just popularity. That's why they're beloved. They're beloved by the fans, so they'll always get talked about. And I really think they did have one of the best feuds during that time period. As for Gail Kim, okay, I'm a fan of Gail Kim. Let me preference that. But other than being a wrestler, what did she have for her? Look at Molly Holly, who's in this match. She had the Mighty Molly gimmick. She had the gimmick in '02 that was perfect for the time. I forgot what she called herself, but she wasn't the bra and panties woman and blah 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 and all that. So that was perfect for the time period. But yeah, she was entertaining. Trish was entertaining. Leda was entertaining. No disrespect to Gail Kim, but when you got a roster with those three, some people are gonna get lost in the shuffle, and Gail Kim got lost in the shuffle. There ain't nothing wrong with that. That's no disrespect to Gail Kim. I know she had that great.
Not entertaining.
What?
My dog thinks you're not entertaining. Look at his face.
Well,
Look.
screw you, Jackson Riker.
Does he look entertained by you?
He's very entertained. Look, he's got that. He's looking at you. Actually, that's the problem.
He's looking at me because I got the food, huh?
Yeah.
Huh? You gonna do it? Do it for me? Alive? Nothing? You're not gonna give me anything? Fine.
That is why you need to subscribe to this podcast, folks. You get perfect audio of Christian howling.
Oh, hold up, folks. If you want to hear Jackson Riker howl, here you go. Move, Jackson. Move, bro. What are you doing? Oh, hold up. I'm gonna give you guys the best sound ever. Are you guys ready? Where is it?
I'm not ready, but go ahead.
Well, I don't know if you're ready or not, Frank. Here you go, right here. There you go. That's my little boy.
Wholesome content like that, guys. Subscribe for that wholesome content, man. But yeah, getting back, yeah, Gail Kim, of course, had that infamous last woman standing match with Taryn Terrell in 2012. So yeah, like no disrespect to her, but she got lost in the shuffle, and there's a reason for that. There was a lot of great talent on the roster back then. As for the match, solid little tag match. Could have gone a little longer, but yeah, it was good. 4 great talents put on a solid, nice little tag match. Now we move to the next match.
Okay. Next match was as I pull our group was Kane defeating Shane McMahon in a last man standing match. This matchup was fucking wild.
Yes, it was.
Wild, dude. Kane's back, it's busted open. Stay back. No. Sorry. Yeah, no, Kane's back, it's busted open. This match I stayed awake for. I know I did. And there was a moment match at the end of the match where Shane McMahon jumps off of the Titantron.
Yeah.
fucking misses Kane, and he can't get up, and he loses. I'm gonna give this match. If I was Dave Meltzer, I'd give this match 3.5 out of 5 stars. Fucking awesome match. Great match.
That's about right. Yeah, that's about right.
Um,
I just remembered too. I forgot to bring up.
you better go lay down. You better go lay down. What's up? What's up, homie?
Dog stealing the show. Jax is stealing the show.
Hey, look at this, bro. He's like stancing up at me, dude. See this shit? He's like
He
stancing up.
wants to smoke. He wants to smoke.
What's good with you, bro? What you want? What you want? What you want, buddy? Huh? What you want, huh? I roughhouse with him. He knows. Yeah.
He's gonna bite you. He gonna bite you, man. You don't want that smoke. I forgot to mention
What? But I dare you to say something stupid at me. Say something stupid at me.
something stupid. Something stupid.
I dare you. Do something. Do something. Whoa! Yo, did you see that? What's crazy on me, yo? What? Y'all can see the ass crack. My bad. Yeah.
Oh, I wasn't even paying attention. You
Good.
had to see that.
Folks, this is why you come to the YouTube channel, to see me wrestle my dog.
Wholesome content. Subscribe for that wholesome content.
Oh, you get down. Oh, heck no. You want more? You want more? You want more? Frank, provide commentary for this match. Here we go.
Oh, I don't get paid to do commentary on your matches with your dog. Come on now. You gotta pay me extra for that. Oh, he going for the bite. He going for the bite. Look at that. Oh, you can't. What are you petting him? I thought this was a wrestling match. You petting him?
1,
Oh,
2, 3. Damn right, I win.
shoulders weren't down.
1, 2.
Oh, he literally did kick out that time. Folks, this is a slobber knocker.
What? What? Come at me like that. See what happens. Just kidding. Hey, it's all love, bud. I'm just kidding.
Folks, tune into Dave Meltzer's Wrestling Observer to get his star rating.
Fuck the Pro Wrestling Observer.
Nah, you got to tune into the next episode of the Wrestling Observer to see his star rating for the match we just witnessed.
5 stars.
There weren't enough 450s and the 1395s.
By the way, folks, I didn't get that championship for being a little bitch.
He got it by shelling out the cash.
Actually, no, I didn't. My friend just gave that to me for free. But anyway.
No, yeah, I remember you told me.
Yeah. So anyway, back to this matchup, folks. You never know what you on the Settlemania and Friends podcast. Yeah. You never know. You might get me crying, and you might get me wrestling my dog.
So yeah, there was. I forgot to say earlier. So this was the earliest I had ever seen a pay-per-view. So a week after the show, my grandfather was celebrating his birthday, and he celebrated it at this hall. So we went to the hall, and the downstairs area was like a bar, and I guess the owner of the whole place had recorded the pay-per-view. He somehow found out I was a wrestling fan, and he was like, "Oh, you want to watch the pay-per-view from last week? I got it on tape." So I checked it out. I watched it that day, and the biggest takeaway for me, being 11 years old, was Shane just jumping off that Titantron. I hadn't seen SummerSlam 2000 yet, where Steve Blackman with that kendo stick smacks Shane in the back when Shane's climbing the Titantron and Shane falls off. So I hadn't seen that yet. So that was crazy. I could not believe that happened. That was sick. But yeah, this was the earliest until No Way Out 2004, which is the first pay-per-view I ever ordered. This was the earliest I had ever watched a pay-per-view. As for this match, again, the storyline, phenomenal. All the crazy shit that Kane and Shane did to each other leading up to not just this match, but the ambulance match at Survivor Series. So it started with Kane tombstoning Linda McMahon on the stage. You had Kane electrocuting Shane McMahon in a spot that no man wants to get electrocuted. Shane McMahon kicking Kane into a fiery dumpster.
Yep.
Kane visiting Shane in the hospital and just beating the hell out of him. All that crazy stuff. This was a great angle, great feud. It was, Shane was fighting for his mother, of course, because that was the beginning of the angle. Kane tombstone Linda
Yep.
on the steel steps. And yeah, for this match, this was tremendous, man. Shane McMahon may not be an actual trained wrestler. Well, I'm sure he is trained, but he's not the type of guy that wrestles on every show. But when he does wrestle, he leaves his mark.
He does, man. He's the greatest wrestler, but man, damn it if he doesn't make an impact.
Yep. Sometimes doing shit that he really doesn't need to do, like jumping off the Titantron. That's I don't know that.
Yeah.
Yeah. That jumping off Titantron like that, it was a damn cool visual. Thank God Shane didn't get hurt though.
By the way, my dog is perfectly all right. He's way over there.
Yeah, of course.
It was all play. It was all play.
That's by the way how the match ended. Shane jumped off of the Titantron. Kane rolled out of the way, so Shane took a bad bump. And Kane, I think, got up at like 9, and of course Shane didn't. There was also a point in this match where, so Kane flipped over the announce table. This was in front of the stage. He pushed over the Raw announce table onto Shane. This was, of course, back when Eric Bischoff was the GM. So the Raw announce table was like the old Nitro table where it was all the way in front of the arena instead of ringside. So when they were fighting near the stage, Kane pushed the announce table on the Shane, and then later, a few minutes later, Shane McMahon grabbed a camera that was on like a tripod, and he pushed the tripod into Kane, but the table was there, so the camera broke, like it cracked the lens. Oh man, I can't imagine.
I'm gonna turn off my camera for just a split second. Continue to tell people about the match.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go get some shit, and I'm gonna go get my stuff taken care of real quick.
Yeah.
Continue to tell people about this match, and if you need to, bleed into the next match.
All right.
I'll be right.
Shane broke one of Daddy's equipment. I can't imagine how pissed Vince might have been at his own son. Got to be a little more careful there when you're messing around with the equipment. But yeah, phenomenal last man standing match. Next was JR and the King taking on Coach and Al Snow, and the winners would broadcast Raw from now on. And of course, Coach and Al Snow won. Of course, they would not become the full-time Raw announce team forever. It was only a couple weeks until Stone Cold intervened and put the kibosh on that. Or I think actually Foley did. One of the other. So going back to the segment with Dupree, the La Resistance in the training room, and Chris Jericho coming out to them asking if they're okay and saying, "I'm going to get back at Austin." This is what he meant. So at one point in the match, JR is on top of Coach, putting the beating on him, and then out of nowhere, here comes Jericho, who drop kicks JR off of Coach. Lawler and Al Snow were battling on the outside, so the referee was there trying to break that up. So he did not see what happened. And so the ref gets in right after the drop kick. JR, who is, of course, not a wrestler, can get beat with a drop kick, and he did. 1, 2, 3, that was it. Coach pinned JR. So thanks to Chris Jericho, Coach and Al Snow are your new announced team for Raw. By the way, shout out to the commentary on this show, man. Absolutely phenomenal. I mean, damn, you would have thought JR and King were still there with how great the commentary for this match was, man. And of course, if you don't know the joke there was no commentary. Because, of course, these were the two Raw commentary teams. JR and King were Raw. Coach and Al Snow were Heat. So, of course, this was a Raw-only pay-per-view. Couldn't bring in, like, Michael Cole and Taz. Because, of course, Raw and SmackDown traveled differently at the time. After the match, JR and King had their nice little thank you to everybody and said, if this is our last match, we're going to go down swinging. Meaning the last match they're going to call the Triple H Goldberg match, which followed this match. This is our last match. We're going to do it right. And
I'm back, folks. Apologize
yeah.
for meeting you with Frank.
Yeah, so I just gave my thought. Oh, did I skip a match? Oh, shit.
The triple threat, I think.
The triple threat. I skipped the triple threat.
I can't leave you alone for 5 seconds, Frank. God damn it.
Blame the DVD. The back of the DVD does not put the match in order.
Hold up. I'm blaming you. Hold up.
The back of the DVD does not put the matches in order.
Well, you know what? How about this, Frank? Back of your DVD, be damned. No. No.
Nah, that's the thing. They if they would have put the match card in the back of the DVD in order, I would not have missed the triple threat. But yeah, so let's get to the triple threat. Jericho and Christian and Rob Van Dam. I believe Van Dam is the IC champ here, and he gets beat by Christian.
No. God damn it, Frank.
What?
Wrong. Christian walked into the match as champion, and Christian walked
in he retained.
Champion.
Oh, yeah, he retained, yeah.
What the fuck? Ladies and gentlemen, put your applications down below for next week's co-host. Not for him, for me. Be my co-host next week, because this guy obviously can't get his shit together. Hey, Jackson.
Put your applications in, because this is his last show. The Mr. Immaturity over here. No, so
I'm not the one that likes young cock. I'm not the one that likes young cock.
No. Well, apparently you do, because you love talking about it.
Folks,
unless that C is supposed to be in R.
Talking, folks. Hit me up on Twitter at Cybermania21. Let me know why you should
29
co-host.
You don't even know your damn Twitter account, bro.
Cybermania21.
29.
It's 21, bitch.
Not the one you sent me. It's 29.
I'm sure it's 21, bitch.
Bro, you need to check again, bro. You don't even know
your
your
own
own
CJMania29 on Twitter, because apparently this fucker knows all and doesn't. Folks, fuck it. Nobody's watching anyway, Frank. I mean, we can talk like this if you want. Look what you're doing. Look what you're doing. You're scaring my dog. Look at that shit. You got him all the way back.
You're the one who named him Jackson Riker. You're scared.
I didn't name anything like that. You fucking yo.
All right, so let's get back to this. A triple threat match. Christian.
I let my dog go take a big Frank Hudson. Oh shit! Oops. Sorry, Frank. Meant to remove myself. Talk about this match while I go let my dog out to take a big Frank Hudson, if you know what I mean.
So Christian retains. Yeah, Christian, Jericho, Rob Van Dam. This was a fun little triple threat match here between three guys who weren't exactly main event. They were like semi-main, in the middle there. Not exactly mid-card, just semi-main event. But yeah, three great talents, especially Christian, man. I loved Christian at this time. Shortly after that.
This time.
What?
I love you too. I heard you say you love Christian at this time. I love you too, bro.
Jay Resso. Jay Resso is who I'm talking about, not this dumbass over here who will be my former podcast host. Put your applications in the comments, folks. But Christian, the wrestler, not the podcast guy, the wrestler Christian.
The king of podcasts?
The queen of podcasts.
Bitch, you live in Queens. You were one to talk about it.
There's a big difference in Queens, the city, and people who are Queens.
Yeah. People who are Queens live in Queens, New York. So
Nah, that is not the women, yeah. Although
like,
a lot of them are rude.
bitch all the time. Folks, hang on. Let me just clarify something right here, right now. The way that Frank and I are talking to each other right now with the insults and stuff like that, I promise everybody, it is all jokes. The way that we're talking to each other on camera is how we talk to each other off camera, and it's all in good fun. It's all in love. Nobody's really leaving the podcast. Nobody's really doing anything. It's just us being friends and us talking shit. That's all it is. Frank, you know I love you. You know I got your back, bro, and it's all jokes.
Send your applications in the comments,
Yeah,
folks.
yeah.
This is his last show. So yeah, Christian.
You're not gonna give it back to me. I just sent you love. You're not gonna send it back.
Nah, you know it's all good. You know it's all
Yeah.
good.
But
So
anyway, back to this match.
Yeah. So before he won the IC title at Judgment Day 2003, Christian had the long hair. He was still that, I just broke away from Edge. Now I'm all alone type of character, which was okay. But he was still trying to find himself. And was shortly after winning the IC title where he found himself. The next night he got a haircut. It was more of like a early 2000s type haircut. And he just looked like what?
Boy band type look.
Yeah, boy. I guess you can say that. Yeah, he looked like a star.
You got somebody watching this video. So hey, if you're watching the video,
Shout out West.
Leave a
Shout out West. What's up, West?
That's
we
West?
know it's West. We know it's West. It usually always is.
Live viewers, see here.
Whoever you are, say what's up.
Yeah, say what's up in the comments.
And put your applications to become the next my next co-host. Put your application in the comments. But Christian after winning the IC title, he found himself and became one of the better heels on Raw. Of course, Jericho was a great heel already, and Jericho and Christian were about to embark on a tremendous feud for the beginning of 2004, but this was still before that. And of course, we know RVD, whenever he's in the ring, you can expect a solid match. And that's what we got here. Solid match, solid triple threat.
Yeah.
With Christian retaining. And then now you give your thoughts, because I already did, on the announced team versus announced team.
Well, I'll give my thoughts on the triple threat match too, since I didn't do that.
Oh yep. See, now I'm acting like you. I'm telling. I'm. Let's go to the next match before you even.
I rub off on people. What can I say?
Hey.
Oh, yeah. Well, now who's got a dirty ass mind, Frank?
Yeah, I didn't say anything about what you was talking about.
Anyway, no, you made it say, hey. But anyway, no, triple threat match. It was a great match. You're always going to get a good match out of those three guys. Those three guys are some of the best workers in the business. Shout out to Jericho and Christian. They're still going at it today. I think RVD might be still too, but not as much as those two. Jericho is doing some stuff in AEW that it's either for you or it's not for you. The sports entertainment stream or whatever, the elite.
Sports entertainment stream was Impact.
Yeah,
that was in the weekly pay-per-view days.
Sports entertainment or something like that.
Yeah, whenever I watch AEW, I'm entertained by Jericho, but it's not surprising. Jericho's always been an entertaining guy, and you don't just. Some people talk about, oh, he's like 60 years old. You don't lose entertainment. You don't lose your entertaining. Your charisma. You don't lose charisma as you get older.
Right.
Just because you're getting older. Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't give a damn how old he is.
I think he's just like 50, maybe 51, 52. But
right, yeah. Well, when he first won he was like the first AEW champion, and he's like immediately the oldest AEW champion.
Yeah. Still more entertaining than the current AEW champion. We'll talk about AEW in a few minutes here. But my thoughts on that match, on the triple threat intercontinental title match, it was great. It was fantastic. Tag match that followed. Look, you're not going to get a great match out of Jim Ross. You're not going to get a great match out of Jonathan Coachman. Those two guys, not the greatest wrestlers in the world. They're not. Let's be honest. They're not. Al Snow and Jerry Lawler, they were the wrestlers in this match, and they did a great job with what they had. It was a very entertaining match, which it was a calm down match. I feel like this match was a
cool down. Yeah,
cool down match, and for a cool down match, it did its job.
Right.
The heels winning, it made sense with the storyline, and I'm really glad that that Jay Ross and Jerry Lawler are still relevant in the business today because I like them both. A lot of people, and I'm gonna get this is where we're gonna get controversial here, Frank. So I don't even know if I told you this about Jim Ross, but a lot of people they hold Jim Ross on a certain pedestal. Oh my God, greatest announcer of all time, greatest this, greatest that. I don't know about the greatest. You know, he's great. I love Jim Ross. Don't mistake what I'm about to say here as, oh, Cyborg hates Ross. I don't hate Ross at all. I like the guy. But to me, he's a little overrated. Jim Ross is an overrated commentator to me. He's great. Memorable calls. But I feel like Michael Cole is a better commentator than Jim Ross.
Michael Cole's so underrated. He really is.
He really, really is. Michael Cole is one of the best commentators of the past. I'll say
he came in like 97.
Yeah, so I'll say the past 25 years. Best commentator of the best, one of the best commentators of the past 25 years. And Jim Ross is legendary for his calls. By God, you know, he's broken in half, you know. I mean, he's an iconic voice, right? The dog is walking around this house like he owns the fucking joint. Go yell. No, I'm not gonna yell at him. He's not even hurting anybody, so whatever. He iconic voice. I just don't think that. I just prefer Michael Cole over Jim Ross. I guess that's just me. And as far as this tag match goes, for what it was, a come down, I thought it was a pretty solid match. And now we're going to get into the main event, which I'll be honest, I kind of fell asleep until towards the end there. Triple H and Goldberg. And I'm going to let Frank talk about this match because he watched way more of it than I did. I tried to stay awake, folks. I tried, but, you know, you're watching these videos at fucking 8 a.m. in the morning. You know what I mean? And you're not used to being up at 8 a.m. And so you got to adjust yourself a little bit here. And you're like, oh, shit.
So just to back on, reply on what you said earlier about JR and
no replies.
I'll reply if I want to. To me, what I like about a commentator is not some guy that just goes out there and says, "Oh, this move, that move, he did that move, he did that." That's apparently what the internet wants. They want guys who say the moves as they're being
650 chinchilla.
He did a 920 into a 450 into a 1637. Blah blah blah. Yeah. To me, the guy that tells the story as it's happening.
That move is called the Pollo El Chico. Sorry.
To me, a great commentator is somebody who sits there and tells the story, not a guy who just tells you what the moves are. Yeah. And Michael Cole does a phenomenal job at that. To me, if you watch Cena and Punk's Money in the Bank 2011 match, I think Cole did a phenomenal job on that, setting the story, telling the history of the WWE title and all of that. But JR does that too. And JR speaks with excitement too. That's the to me, when I think of a JR match, one that he called and did a phenomenal job on, Clash of Champions 1, Sting, Flair. He did a phenomenal job on that match, getting up to that excitement level. That's what makes JR so great. And he can tell the story too. He definitely can tell the story too. To me, I love that you're a Cole fan. Believe me, because Cole gets no respect nowadays.
Right.
I'm a big fan of Michael Cole, not just because he's a Met fan, but because he's a great commentator. And that's one thing I love about. I grew up on 03 SmackDown.
Well, the Mets. I blame the
Don't
Mets
be,
for your stupid
don't,
snow issues.
don't be mad because we came to Colorado and busted your ass 2 out of 3. Don't be mad.
Don't be mad when I come to your ass and I bust your. Hey, yo, chill.
But that's one thing I love about growing up on 2003 SmackDown with
What?
Cole and Taz. Cole and Taz both being the guys that called the show. They're both Met fans. That was a cool thing. I didn't know at the time, but now I do know. So
Well,
that's
I
pretty
don't
cool.
like Michael Cole anymore because he likes the Mets. Fuck Michael Cole.
he's just mad because the Mets, of course, came to Colorado and put that ass whooping on the Rockies.
And
okay.
and in the fucking process of coming here to Colorado, what else did you do, Frank? What else
Nah,
did you do?
that's y'all. That's
What
y'all. Every time,
No. What else did you do, Frank? Huh?
every time we come to Colorado, we got to deal with y'all bum ass snow in April and May. That's on you. You
That's
come
on
to
you.
New York.
You
You
guys
come to New York.
didn't snow in April and May until you guys fucking came here, bitch.
There's plenty of Rockies games that get snowed out that don't involve the Mets. That's a Colorado deal right there. You come to New York, come to Citi Field, games don't get snowed out unless I guess it's the World Series and it's snowing in October or November. I don't know.
wouldn't waste my time going to New York, man. I'll just go to New Jersey. Same thing. No.
Greatest city in the world with the greatest baseball team in the world, baby. The first place, New York Mets, running away with the damn division on May 28th.
Excuse me. Oh shit. Sorry. Got a cough or something.
But anyway, let's get into oh yeah, before I finish up on the commentators, I want to say Taz and Michael Cole were a great team. JR and King will always get the love from that time period, rightfully so. But Taz and Cole were entertaining. That's one thing about them. So JR and King had their stick too. But yeah, Taz and Michael Cole were funny.
Oh, sorry.
And Michael Cole told the story, and Taz
being a dick. I'm sorry.
Yeah, Michael Cole. I didn't even hear what you said. No.
I said, I did this, and then I started to fall asleep. I'm like, oh, sorry, folks. Frank's talking. I fell asleep.
Again, put your applications in the comments.
Yeah.
This is his last show.
Yeah.
Yeah. So Michael Cole told the story. Taz not only brought a little color to it, but he also with the comedy and stuff. But he also would tell you what the wrestler is doing, which I know the internet loves that because he is a former wrestler. Taz is. But yeah, Taz and Michael Cole, give them men them flowers, man. Stop sleeping on that commentary crew.
Okay,
just as good as JR and King.
Get to the main event.
Yes, Triple H and Goldberg for the world title. If you saw the SummerSlam review, you saw, and I clipped the chamber match. So if you didn't see the SummerSlam review, check out my thoughts on the chamber. I have no problem with the way.
It's a great listen to if you're trying to go to sleep at night. Go ahead.
Put those applications in the comments. But anyway, I had no problem with the way with the way that went down. Goldberg squashed everybody until he got to Triple H. Ric Flair got himself involved through the hammer in, and bang! But now that puts Goldberg. Goldberg is now got a little adversity to go through. And that's what I like. I don't want to just see Goldberg fucking beat up everybody. Let's see him go get a little adversity, tell a nice little dramatic story, instead of just having him boom, spear, jackhammer everybody, spear, jackhammer. Even WCW, everybody wants to talk about that. When he was in WCW, he just demolished everybody. Which, early on with the streak, he did. But they put him in adversity. The January 4th, 99 show that everybody loves to shit on. I absolutely love that. That's one of my favorite Nitros. They built that show up so well. It was like a 3-hour storyline developing right in front of your eyes. And the crazy finish. the finger poke of doom, which oh my gosh, they didn't do 450s and the 330s and the 680s. Oh my gosh, that was horrible. But that was adversity. That was adversity for Goldberg to go through. Sadly, Goldberg got hurt. I think he punched the car window a little too hard and busted his hand up.
Yeah, I remember
So
that.
we never really saw the end of that angle. But as for that episode, that was tremendous, man. So I love it. I want to see guys go through adversity. It adds storylines, not just one guy beat the hell out of everybody. That's boring.
I mean, for a few matches, watching them just to get them over,
Right.
okay. But after a while,
nothing wrong with squashing a couple jobbers on Nitro and Thunder. That's fine,
Yeah.
Well, I hate that term jobber. Let me say local guys, which they weren't really local guys. They were undercard WCW guys like Hugh Morris. So they weren't really even local guys or jobbers, as people love to call them. That's what jobbers are. Guys that are on TV every week and lose aren't jobbers. They're a part of the show.
Yeah.
The jobbers are the local guys. Yeah. The jobbers are the local guys who come in and work one TV match where they make the stars look good. That's old, early 90s, new generation era stuff. You don't even really get jobbers anymore.
No.
But anyway, so yeah, Goldberg goes through a little adversity. He has to put his career on the line here. And with Goldberg's career on the line, that means Triple H can lose the title by DQ or countout. And this was a solid match. Goldberg overcame the odds, hit the jackhammer, 1, 2, 3. He's the world champ. And I enjoyed it. Solid little match. Not the match of the night, definitely not. I would put, like I said, Orton and Shawn Michaels in my match tonight. I put that and the Last Man Standing match above it. Yeah. But yeah, Triple H Goldberg would be my third favorite match on this show.
I saw the ending of the match, and it was a good. From what I saw, I didn't see just the end of the match. I saw some of the match. From what I saw, I thought it was a solid story. Goldberg having to fight his way to the world title. He did, and I kind of agree with you on the jobber thing. Look, jobbers are just as important as the main event.
They are.
You know what I mean? They have their role to play, just like the main eventers. Their job as a guy that is a jobber is to get the guy over so that you can make him more popular.
But there aren't even jobbers anymore. That's the thing of the 90s, though. That's the thing.
Well, but you still
like people,
because now they're about enhancement talent.
That's what they are. Yeah, enhancement. But enhancement guys are guys who come in to do a match. Like on Superstars, you would always see enhancement guys. They would be guys you've never heard of who face the main event talent on Superstars or on those early Raw episodes. Dolph Ziggler, everybody called Dolph Ziggler a jobber. Yeah. Dolph Ziggler is a part of the company. He is not a jobber or an enhancement. Right. He's not a jobber. There are no jobbers anymore. You rarely see that. You rarely see enhancement jobber type things anymore.
So, ladies and gentlemen, that was our take on Unforgiven 2003. We got to see a lot of stuff there tonight. You saw me wrestle my dog and whoop his ass. You saw him fight. You saw him bite back. You saw me and Frank fight a little bit because he's a little bitch boy. Drop your application.
Put your applications in the comments. I need a new co-host.
I'm gonna need a new co-host after this guy. Hey, let's talk about some current news. I'm gonna pull something up here. Shout out to the iPhone, by the way, bro. Get yourself an iPhone. Mac sucks.
I'm spending all that money on a damn phone. Nah.
What?
I ain't spending all that money on a damn phone. iPhones are ridiculously priced.
Today, by the way, Androids suck, but and watch your mouth about iPhone. Oh, and by the way, if you like my phone case, you can get one just like this. All you gotta do is get yourself to Disney World, go to Magic Kingdom, go to Tomorrowland, and there's a store right by Space Mountain, not Ric Flair Space Mountain, but right by the ride Space Mountain. And they have an area where you can actually make your own phone case. So that's why I made this. Let's. Do you want to talk about tonight's show? Because AEW has a big show tonight.
Okay.
Let's talk about AEW Double or Nothing here. Just to get some current crap in here. AEW Double or Nothing history. It's just easier if I pull it up on my phone. By the way, folks.
They're doing a pay-per-view on a Saturday.
Yep. Maybe
Going up against a Game 7, I think.
There's
a Game 7 today.
Oh no, that's tomorrow. It's tomorrow. That day. It's tomorrow. Double or Nothing.
Oh.
But anyway, fuck it. So here are the matches, Frank. And before I tell you all the matches, let me tell you how many matches there are, including the pre-show. There are 13 matches on this card.
Well, this is one of their biggest pay-per-views, right? So that's why there's a lot of matches.
So on the pre-show, it's Hookhausen, which is Hook and Danhausen, against which is against Tony Nese and Smart Mark Sterling. Any thoughts on this match? I don't have anything to say about this.
I don't know these guys that well. I know Hook. I've seen pictures of Hook. I know everybody.
So Hook just has his son in real life.
I know Hook. I know Danhausen, but I don't know enough about them to like talk about them. I can see why Hook is a big star because he's got the look and everything.
Yeah.
But again, I can't even talk enough about him because I haven't seen him. I don't watch AEW like that. And Danhausen. I'll say this about Danhausen. He looks like he's got a nice little gimmick going. But again, I don't watch enough about him to really, what I've seen from AEW does not make me want to tune in every week.
Yeah. Kyle O'Reilly versus Darby Allin. Why is this on a pay-per-view? Seems like a perfect AEW Dynamite match on a pay-per-view match, but
I know everybody loves Darby Allin, so you got to put your guy on pay-per-view if everybody loves him, right? The skateboard dude.
Give him Jade Cargill versus Anna Jay for the AEW TBS Championship. I like Anna Jay. She has a great look. She's beautiful. I like
my favorite women's wrestler from AEW is Ty because she is beautiful, man.
Well, we'll get to her in a minute. The House of Black, which is Malachi Black, Buddy Matthews, and Brody King against the Death Triangle. House of Black and Death Triangle. God, so much darkness in one match. This match should be a cool little match. I don't really know what the story is. Here's your girl right here, Frank. American Top Team: Scorpio Sky, Ethan Page, and Paige Van Zandt with Dan Lambert versus Sammy Guevara, Frankie Kazarian, and Ty Conti. 6-person mixed tag match. If American Top Team win, neither Guevara nor Kazarian will be allowed to challenge for the TNT Championship as long as Sky is champion.
Okay. I want to talk about Dan Lambert for a second, but before I do that, I want to say when Ty Conti, right? Tay, I'm not sure.
Yeah, same difference.
When she says Latinas do it better, she ain't lying. She is not lying. But Dan Lambert, I've seen a little bit of him when I watch, whenever, which is a rarity when I tune into Dynamite or Rampage, the other show, right? Which I think I've only watched like 1 or 2 Rampages. But Dan Lambert's an entertaining dude, I'll say that.
He really is. He knows how to get that bad guy stuff. Yeah.
That's the thing. AEW has some entertaining talent, but it's just whenever you watch the weekly shows, it's like match after match after match after match after match. You know what I say? I want storylines, stuff like when we talk about Shane versus Kane, dude, I just named off how many damn segments that took place on Raw leading up to that show. You just don't really see stuff like that.
Yeah.
And that's just one match. That's just one match on that show. Every other match had like stuff going on Raw leading up.
I want to say something real quick. PETA, if you watch this video, do not get on my ass about me wrestling with my dog. I swear it's all in fun. My dog is not abused. He's not hurt. He is
Yep.
fine. He's healthy. He's happy. We give him love every single day. When I was wrestling him, that was just playing. So Peter, don't get all. Go ahead.
So Peter about to clap him. So send your applications in the comments.
Next match, fuck you, Frank. Next match is the Hardys versus the Young Bucks. A match that, quite frankly, nobody asked for.
I'll say this. I know everybody hates the Young Bucks. I'm not going to sit here and say they're the greatest, blah, blah, blah. But, you know, when they were in Impact, what are you doing? I don't even.
No. I'm raising my hand as somebody who hates the Young Bucks.
Oh, okay. I didn't know because you were raising your hand, but you were also like pointing. I didn't know what you meant.
I was raising my hand, pointing at the hand.
Right.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
I was doing this. I was doing.
Look, when they were in Impact in 2010, yes. Again, he is immature. Please put your applications in the comments. I'm gonna have a new co-host next week. We're gonna go over the first SmackDown after 9/11. So put your application if you want to be a part of that. Maybe Tay Conti will be here next week. You know, you never know.
In your fucking dreams, buddy. In your fucking dreams, homie. You have to wrestle Sammy Guevara first, bro.
What was I gonna say? Now, oh yeah. So when the Young Bucks were in Impact in 2010, and for everybody who hates Impact in 2010, if you've watched this show enough, it should come as no surprise that I loved Impact in 2010. And this is the first. I remember the first time I saw the Young Bucks. They had a tryout match on Impact in early 2010.
That's when I saw them. That's the first time I saw them too. Was Impact.
Yeah.
I liked them. When I first saw them, I actually liked them because they had some really cool moves. I liked that little springboard, like face buster. But they did it one time where it looked like it was a springboard, like pile driver. It looked really cool.
Yeah. But yeah, so they had a tryout match with the Guns, and they came out, and I'm like, these guys look like the Hardys because they were like dressed up like 90s Hardys. I'm like, what? Who is this? And so, you know, they went on and had a couple of really good matches with the Motor City Machine Guns that year. And, you know, I saw them perform live at a Ring of Honor event, twice to be actually. Final Battle 2013 was the first Ring of Honor event I ever was at. I can't remember everybody who was involved with the match, but the match I remember was the next Ring of Honor event I went to, World of Worlds 2014. I even saw them at both events. I got their autographs at Final Battle, and then just said, "Hey, what's up?" at World of Worlds. But at World of Worlds 2014, they faced Red Dragon, and that was a pretty good match. But the one thing I'll say about this, no disrespect to Young Bucks at all, but when they do all those crazy things, at first they look all cool, but as time goes on, it's like, you know,
same old.
Yeah. And it's not like they're mega stars or anything. I mean, I guess they have their following. I'll say that. They got the niche audience, which is what AEW is all about, the niche audience. And good for them. You know, it's better than trying to literally go head to head with WWE, which you never want to do. Definitely not AEW. They didn't make the big bang that Eric Bischoff did before going, or well, maybe shortly after going head to head with the NWO angle. I don't expect that AEW could do something like that. I hope they do, though, to be honest. I want WWE to get pushed the way WCW pushed WWE, because when that happens, you know Vince McMahon, he ain't going to stand by and let another promotion just slowly kill off WWE.
Peep the shirt.
Yeah, it looks nice. I can't really see who's on it, but it looks cool. I can tell it's an old school. Oh, I see Hogan, the GOAT. You got the GOAT on the shirt.
There's let's see. There's
Savage.
There's Savage. There's Flair. Sheik.
Shout out to the guy who plays Savage on Young Rock.
Yeah,
he was tremendous in that Sears scene. I don't know if you saw the episode yet, but apparently Savage opened a Sears when Sears first went in business.
Oh,
and like after he opened it, you know, they do the ribbon cutting. He apparently like stayed in there He stayed in the store and was like shaking everybody's hands, like, "Hey, how you do? How you do?" And one of the lady comes up to the owner.
Sorry.
Yeah, and one of the lady comes up to the owner and is like, "Savage works here?" Like, no.
Anyway,
And then,
next
yeah.
match.
The best weekly wrestling show on TV today, although the season ended,
Yeah, Jurassic Express versus Team Taz versus Keith Lee and Swerve Strickland for the tag team title in a 3-way. Not that 3-way, but you know what I mean.
Told you he's immature.
Send your applications for a new co-host. So you got nothing to say about that match? Okay, great.
Well, I'll say about Keith Lee. I know everybody loves the guy because he's a great wrestler. I never saw the appeal in Keith Lee. Honestly, he's just a wrestler, in my opinion.
Expert analysis. The Jericho Appreciation.
We are not experts. I want to just say that we're just giving our thoughts on here.
Facts. That's right. We're not experts. We're not professional podcasters. Right. Obviously, if we were professionals, you wouldn't see me wrestling my dog or moving my computer from my bedroom to my.
You mean to tell me that Bruce Pritchard doesn't wrestle his dog in the middle of something to wrestle with?
Probably not. No. Probably not. Probably
text Christian, take your pills.
Probably text Vince, "Hey Vince, you want a blowjob after this?" Anyway.
See again, immaturity.
Anyway.
Stop with the Bruce Pritchard hate. There will be no Bruce Pritchard hate on this podcast.
Okay. The Jericho. I wonder if he makes those Vince McMahon. I wonder if he imitates Vince McMahon while he's blowing him.
Oh gosh.
The Jericho Appreciation Society, which is Chris Jericho, Matt Menard, Angelo Parker, Daniel Garcia, and Jake Hager, against Eddie Kingston, Santana, Ortiz, and the Blackpool Combat Club, Bryan Danielson and Jon Moxley. Anarchy in the Arena match. Say it with me, folks. Lazy booking.
I don't watch the product. I don't know what to say. I like Bryan Danielson in WWE when he.
I like that little moment of silence that we had. By the way, that was hilarious. But Arena, it's basically like anything goes, pretty much. Lazy.
Oh, I know.
Okay. And then we got Dr. Britt Baker, DMD, one of my favorite women wrestlers, against Ruby Soho, who I don't really care for at all. I'm not really a big fan of Ruby. I don't really see the appeal in her. Everybody loves Ruby. I don't see the appeal. This is the Women's Owen Hart Foundation Tournament Final. Samoa Joe versus Adam Cole. The Men's Owen Hart Foundation Tournament Final. And Jay Lethal, Sanjay Dutt, and Satnam Singh. I think I said that name right. Satnam Singh. Barred from ringside.
That feels like 06 Impact right there. Jay Lethal and Sanjay Dutt. Free your mind. Free your mind.
Yeah. MJF versus Wardlow. If Wardlow wins, he'll be granted his release from his contract with MJF. Now, if MJF wins, Wardlow will be permanently banned from signing with AEW. Well, that pretty much gives the winner away.
That sounds like something cool going on there. So MJF essentially owns the property of Warlord, kind of like Test with Stacy Keibler.
Of Wardlow, yeah.
Wardlow
versus Serena Deeb for the AEW Women's Championship. I'm sorry, they call it for the AEW Women's World Championship. Don't ask me why they call it the World, but yeah.
Well, it's the world title. It's the women's world title.
I guess.
I don't see nothing wrong with that.
Why doesn't WWE just call it the WWE Raw Women's World Champion, the WWE Smackdown Women's World Champion?
They could.
And then finally, in the main event of AEW Double or Nothing 2022, Hangman Adam Page defends the AEW World Championship against CM Punk.
Where's the show gonna be?
1 sec. I think it's in Vegas.
Oh, in Vegas. Oh, yeah, Double or Nothing. That makes sense.
Let me see. It's going to take place at the T-Mobile Arena in Paradise, Nevada.
Right, where the Golden Knights play.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah,
Nice.
I expect Punk to win that. At some point, they're gonna put the belt on. They got it. So probably tomorrow night. I would expect that to happen.
Yeah. So that's Double or Nothing. You want to preview Hell in a Cell since we're doing previews?
Yeah, I guess so. When's
Uh,
Hell in a Cell? Why in
Hell
the world is Hell in a Cell in May now?
June the 5th, so next weekend.
June. Why is Hell in a Cell in June now?
Good question. I don't know. So here are the matches so far, and there can always be more matches added. Here are the matches so far. Ezekiel against Kevin Owens.
Okay.
Okay, yeah.
I hear that Ezekiel is
He's pretty fun.
That's
He's
Elijah, right?
Elias, yeah.
Yeah,
They're
Elijah.
actually doing pretty good with that thing. At first I was like, what the fuck is this stupid shit? But then after a while you're like, because you see photos of those two and you're like, okay, that's kind of good. That's really good. Yeah. Bobby Lashley versus Omos and MVP in a 2-on-1 handicap match.
So MVP's rolling with Omos now?
Yep.
Okay.
Yep. Bianca Belair defends the Raw Women's title against Asuka and Becky Lynch. And the only advertised Hell in a Cell match for Hell in a Cell, Cody Rhodes versus Seth freaking Rollins.
So there's no 2 Hell in a Cell matches anymore?
As of today, as of the time of reading that, no, there's only 1 Hell in a Cell.
Well, personally, I don't like the gimmick pay-per-views. To me, Hell in a Cell should be built up, and it should end a blood feud.
Yeah.
I don't like Elimination Chamber having its own show, Money in the Bank, all that. I'm not a fan of that personally. I liked when they had Money in the Bank every year for WrestleMania, but why not just make it a surprise, man?
Right.
Surprise, like same thing with Elimination Chamber. Early on, Elimination Chamber, you never knew when it was gonna happen. It first happened at Survivor Series 02, and then happened SummerSlam 03. By the way, I was listening to a little bit of that Goldberg Something to Wrestle With episode, and I was right. The reason why Triple H was wearing those tights was because he got injured. There was a post-Raw dark match, Goldberg versus Triple H, and Triple H actually got hurt. Hence, that is why they originally were promoting Triple H Goldberg at SummerSlam, but since Triple H got hurt, and since they were worried about how Goldberg wrestled, they didn't know if he was really ready to be a main event guy. They didn't want an injured Triple H with Goldberg one-on-one, so they made it a chamber match. That's why, and yeah, like I said, that's why Triple H was wearing those long tights from SummerSlam through.
So everybody, right now, round of applause for Frank for getting something right. Good job, Franklin. Good job.
Again, put your applications in the comments below.
Why?
I'm gonna have a new podcast.
I'm giving you flowers.
I'm gonna have a new podcast host next
I'm giving you flowers. I'm giving you props, bro.
I got something right, but I don't even think they saw me asking, because wasn't that on the Unforgiven show where I asked, where I said,
it might have been.
Yeah, I think Triple H got hurt, and that's why he was wearing those.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well,
but I said, don't quote me because I wasn't 100% sure.
Hour and 33 minutes of this podcast.
Yeah. And it'll get like 13 views.
Yeah, I'm done with this dude. This dude. Frank, I hope you enjoyed your very last freaking podcast on this channel.
Nah, this is your last one.
You're fucking. This is my channel, bitch. What you mean?
Nah. It's both of our channels, and right now I'm kicking you off. I now run this place.
No, it's all love, man. You know it's all love, Frank.
I'm gonna pick some segments to clip tomorrow. I already have some in mind. I'll definitely clip the end here with the AEW and WWE pay-per-views. Maybe the main event.
My dog.
Maybe I'll clip that. Yeah, I'll clip Shane versus Kane
Yeah.
because I know we said a lot about that. Yeah,
Um,
I'll do a couple clips tomorrow.
ladies and gentlemen, we'll see you next Friday. For
This
the
Friday.
huh?
This Friday. This Saturday.
Okay, fine. We'll see you this Friday for another edition of the Flashback Friday series. Also, Frank, I wanted to do something else this week with you if you have the time. A superstar piece where we take a look at a certain superstar and talk about their career. When this week we would be doing it on Brock Lesnar.
Okay.
Cool.
What day? What day?
What day works for you?
I'll say we'll do that. Maybe we'll do that Wednesday. Want to do
Wednesday
that Wednesday?
works for me, man. That
Okay.
works for me. You better be here on Wednesday, though.
I'll be ready.
Okay, cool. Ladies and gentlemen, there you go. So this Wednesday, expect a very first episode of Superstar Piece. Brock Lesnar. We're going to talk about his whole career. Until next time. Hey, man, follow your boys on Twitter, @SettleMania29. Don't worry about his Twitter handle. It doesn't matter.
It's right there anyway. People can see.
9096. That's his Twitter. Sebelmania29. That's my Twitter. So follow your boys. If you're new to this channel, hit that subscribe button, hit the notification bell. And if you don't do any of that, the Mets will come to your city and make it snow.
We're all coming to everybody's here. We're going to beat y'all team's asses.
Yeah, well,
We're taking over this shit.
not that good. But till next time, I'm Sebelmania. That's whoever the fuck. We'll see you next time. We out. Deuces.